And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel, guys. You beautiful people, comment below where are you from, what time is it, hashtag self-developed army, guys. Here we're in Canada, it is quite late, we've got a little bit of golden hour left, it's absolutely beautiful, guys. I face west, so I'm always able to get the golden rays that come in and pervade through this condo, which is why I look kinda cute right now. That was a little weird. Anyways, with that said, guys, in today's video, I titled it, or believe I titled it, Dealing with Failure as a Man. Alright, guys, what to do, because, man, I've definitely made videos probably with this title, probably once or twice on the channel, I would hope so, but only as of late, I would say the past like 3 to 6 months has this idea really been hitting me, like, really been saturating inside all of the cells of my body. And this is through me looking up to mentors, people above me, right? And beginning to really experience it and just see it so, like, I can just see the correlation so crystal clear. Where beforehand, guys, I feel a big part of boyhood, right? Not moving into maturity is we try to ignore these mistakes, or we try to shove them under the rug, or pretend as though they didn't happen. Where I feel a self-integrated man, someone who is self-developed, right, I'm trying to be as well, we're all trying to move towards that, is someone who embraces that and wears that fucking L right on their head, like right on their fucking shirt. They embrace it. There is no other way I can put it, guys. When you fail, you make a mistake, let me just put it this way, okay? And again, this is a bit of a philosophical video. Every single person, no, scratch that. There's a quote I heard, and I think it went, if you're not failing, you're not trying. People who try the most are going to fail the most. So a lot of times these losers, or these people who seemingly keep failing, like David, you screwed this up, or this could have gone better, right? People who just judge, they're looking at, right? A lot of times they're celebrities, but they don't have to be, guys. But you're just looking at these people like, oh, you see, he lost this amount of money, or this happened. Ha, scoffers, right? Those people who are actually failing are trying the fucking most. They're building. They're legends in the making, guys. Let me put it this way. If you want to master any craft, any trait, you want to become good at anything, there is a buffer period. You are going to be a beginner, and how I view it, I've always kind of viewed it this way, but like, think of a video game, right? If you want to think of like Elden Ring or Skyrim, right? You need, let's say, I'm going to pull this random number out of my ass. You need 5,000 experience points to level up, right? Okay, well, how are you going to get those 5,000 experience points? That is through you killing trolls and dragons and chopping down trees and failing and dying and trying it again and doing this till eventually, boom, you upgrade. You got enough experience. You are now level 51, whatever it is. That, my friends, in order to level up in any area of your life, you are required, you are needed, it is eligible, it is going to happen that you are going to experience X amount of failures, trial, and errors. There is no other way to go about it, and this is something that has really only been dawning upon me and hitting me as of the past 3 to 6 months in particular. It's really when I began to get into powerlifting, and I saw, like, firsthand. I've been only powerlifting now seriously for about a year and a half, and man, it humbled me. And that's actually what inspired this video, guys. I've been doing it now for over a year. I just completed my 3rd competition, and it went to fucking shit. I'll be honest with you guys, it did not go that well. I overdosed on caffeine. I threw up violently the past day and a half. I felt completely sick, like hungover the entire comp. I got a lot of technical fouls that I didn't even know existed. Like, it just felt like life kind of threw me a curveball, and initially I was a little bummed out, but unlike my other competitions, my first one, right, this is beginner's luck. I did really well. I had a 9 for 9 day, which is you hit every single lift. My second comp wasn't bad. I made 1 error. This one I made like 3. But the difference, right, I'm just jumping straight into it with you guys. The difference with this comp compared to my last comp is, even though I technically made more errors, there was a part inside of me that accepted it so much faster than my previous one. Now, my previous comp, and again, this is why I'm saying I believe a huge sign of maturity of a man is accepting his failures from the get-go. Like, buddy, when you make a mistake, you fail something, I think a really self-evolved man, a lethal man, right? Again, I'm not saying this to myself, I'm saying this to people I look up to. They move on from that and learn from it immediately. Like, Guys, there are so many individuals, and I say this to myself because these mistakes, like I said, my last competition when I made a mistake, it discouraged the shit out of me. Like when I began anything, like any business, I've started multiple passions, photography, videography, and I would shoot a commercial. I remember shooting one of my first paid gigs in videography, and it was like a decent amount of money, and I fucked it up. Like I overexposed it, or I got the audio wrong and I had to completely reshoot it. It stung so bad. Like I was just obliterated. I was like, there was no way. I was so just like dumbfounded. Like this did not happen. And fast forward, let's say, I don't know, a year from that or 6 months down from that. Let's say I made a mistake similar to that. I just remember getting over that shit so quickly. You find the solution, you reshoot it, you do what you need to do, deduct the money, like whatever. Dude, you just learn from it and move on. It's like a Band-Aid. The first time it happens, it stings. You're like, bro, no one can know this. I'm a failure. No, this is so wrong. You resist it like the plague. Where eventually, guys, you rip off X amount of Band-Aids, it just becomes second nature. It's peeling off. You're like, you know what? Let me fucking help you. And you just rip that motherfucker off even faster. And for some reason, this third comp that just passed by, even though on paper I made the most amount of mistakes, like it seemed like God was completely against me. I couldn't tell you guys why. I literally cared the least. And I think I'm now crossing into a threshold of really being lethal, of really being in this industry. Because if that happened even 6 months ago, I would have been dumbfounded. I would have been so just distraught. And let's relate it to YouTube, guys. I'm at a point now with YouTube. I make videos, and let's say they tank. It doesn't do well. Fuck, I mean, dude, I've gone through so many hundreds of videos that I had high expectations for. I've been on YouTube for so long thinking like, this is it, and no. You know what I do? I just make another video the next day. Like, guys, you got to, at some point, just roll with the punches and become a fucking snowball, like an abominable snowball. I know it's abominable, man, like a big Yeti, but in a snowball. And you're just trudging along, just like growing and smacking down every barrier and tree. A tree comes, it slows you down, boom, you just eat it, you just absorb it, and you're like, okay, bet, on to the next one. And you become this lethal ball. Of course, guys, it still stings. When I made those mistakes, yes, it was unfortunate. My family came out, I had my coach come from Florida, and yeah, I feel like I disappointed them, man. But there's, at that point, guys, you have two options, okay? I either feel like a fucking shithole and then I just stop. I'm like, oh, this is not for me, that's it. Or you move on, you learn from it, right? You get better, you look at them as learning lessons, and I'm like, okay, bet. Now I need to triple down on A, B, C, D, make sure I don't make that again, and sign up for your next comp the next day. That is a lethal man, guys. You're just trudging along because you're not too attached. And I noticed, guys, and maybe this whole video is me just coping. Maybe it is. I really don't think it is. But I was very impressed with myself, actually, because when I made the two mistakes on squats, which to be honest, I didn't think they were mistakes. But again, I'm not the judge, right? It's going to happen. I've literally done the exact same thing as my last comp, and I got all checks, but for some reason, it didn't happen this time. When it happened, I just remember, like, the lift, it didn't go through. I was just like, okay, like, on to the next. And I just remember, like, deep down, I was kind of like, my mind was like, shouldn't I be freaking out right now? Shouldn't I be like, oh my God, but like, sorry guys, my camera just shut off, so good to go now. Yeah, I just remember, man, making those little mistakes, and it just felt so effortless to get over, and I was a little confused because I remember when I made the first mistake, my last comp 2 months prior, dude, I could not sleep for like 3 days. I literally couldn't, and it happened this time, of course, in a different way, and I was just like, okay, bet, it is what it is, I don't know, like, I was so over it, and I really do believe, guys, that is the way of the superior man. I know that's a book title, guys, but I truly believe that is the distinction between boy and man. Boy, I mean, number one, guys, I'll be honest, he doesn't even try. Like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, look, if you're not failing, you're not trying. A lot of people, 98% of people, especially the people that scoff, they're not even trying, buddy. They're on the fucking sidelines of the bench judging, okay? Like, you're not on the battlefield. You are not eligible to judge. You do nothing. You're not in the fire. So that's number one. They don't try, right? I mean, you're not going to fail if you don't try. So they're like, you know what? If I don't try, I can't make any mistakes. So, like, number one, that's 85% of people. But then two, and I've been there, guys, and I'm saying this, is they try to just like mask their mistakes, like act as if they're perfect, and social media does a horrible, or I guess an amazing job at doing this, where it seems like you can just hide all your shortcomings, you know, put on a new filter, don't talk about this. And that's why, guys, I really try my hardest on this channel and on my vlog channel. You know, I've made it actually in a way where I can't hide it. If I do poorly in my show, I've recorded the whole thing. I can't fake it. I can't. Right? And I'm really trying to do that, and it stings at times, but it really teaches me a good lesson of just moving past it quick. Guys, if you are in something for the long run, whether that's your relationships, your career, your entrepreneurship business, you are going, buddy, you're going to make thousands of mistakes. It's going to happen. It's going to hit you, and if it hasn't hit you yet, it's coming. You are going to fail that video shoot. You are going to get those technical errors. We learn from it. We move on, and I'm telling you, man, the faster you can move on, you just become lethal. And I know a lot of you guys can relate with this in many areas of your life. Think of a time where it really stung the first time you got rejected by a girl, or like, you know, whatever it is. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, on to the next. Man, you're making progress. That's a dangerous man, right? In any field of life, when I think of someone that I look up to, and again, I'll be honest, like, it's in human nature. None of us want to make mistakes. No one puts their mistakes on blast. There's a few people I look up to that do, like How to Beast. He's one of them. You know, if he makes a big mistake with like in finances or A, B, C, D, he lets people know. And I'm like, man, that helps me a lot too, guys. It's important to look up to people, whether that be guys like Jordan Peterson or Elliot Hulse or, you know, maybe How to Beast or whoever it is, guys. It doesn't matter. But to just notice them and notice if they own up and also share their failures. Man, if they do, God is going to bless them hard, because the more times you succeed, by default, the more times you fail. You cannot have one without the other. It's yin yang. Okay, guys? So that is that. That is the end of this video. I know this lighting changed quite a bit. The sun has officially set now, guys, so I'm about to go for a walk. I know this video is a bit more of a philosophical one, but I'm just documenting with you guys where I'm at as a man, what I'm learning, what I'm going through, the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses. It's one big process, guys. And if you can just stay detached and stoic in the middle of the hurricane, right? Even with the wins, the losses, the confusion, everything around, you're just here unattached, doing what's in front of you, you become lethal. Lethal. Time flies. Okay? So apply this video, guys, and I hope it helped. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I'll finish it here, guys, with the final plugs. If you guys are interested and would like to work with me on a personal level, guys, you know the flex. One-on-one coaching, guys, come join the team. I've just deducted the prices of one-on-one coaching, so if you guys have ever been on the fence, now is your time. Looking to take on another 10 to 12 clients, guys, so be sure to book yourself a spot below. We have group coaching, guys, which is the workshop, cheaper than a one-on-one coaching, 4 1-hour live stream calls with myself, a small group of men, and a private Facebook group for unlimited messaging, guys. You can come check the one of August coming up very soon, guys. Learn more about that below. And finally, guys, our third and final option is the course, passive, online, over 3 hours long, completely transforming your lives as men. All right, guys, go download the free half-an-hour version below before getting the full one, and I'll finish it there. You guys can support Edge. Come on, we got that black cutoff tank top. You guys know the flex. About to go for a walk, like I said, and I'll finish this video here, guys. Let's get in the habit of also putting our failures on blast. Even though it stings, even though it hits our pride, I am telling you that is the fastest way you rip off the Band-Aid and dominate. Like, buddy, if you want to accelerate fast, move past those beginner mistakes and get to the gold, you put them on blast. I know it's like a self kind of sabotage, sacrificing thing, and it hurts in the beginning, but trust me, man, this is what repentance is. It's being aware of our mistakes. Once we are, you become that snowball that you don't want to mess with, okay? So thank you, guys. Have an amazing day. I'll check you next video. With that, much love. Peace.